Spartan could be defined as having unwavering strength and fortitude, being a generous and natural leader, as being defined by his or her actions and living every day as though it were their last. As any seasoned business leader knows, the difference between success and failure is the quality of the people within the company. In the final part of our interview series with Joe, we get talking about the people he surrounds himself with and the specific types of people that make Spartan Race a growing success.
Joe, let's talk about people and the type of people you like to surround yourself with in particular, the type of people you actually like hanging out with.
Yeah, so they've done studies recently that people that enjoy each other's company actually share similar DNA. So I think our senses can tell this person's like me or not like me. It just feels at home. When I was young and I was building my construction business and my pool business, I had a really tough time hiring local neighborhood kids. They'd quit, they couldn't get it done, they'd complain, they had schemes that they wanted to get into to make their money rather than, hey, let's just put the time in and the work in. And then I stumbled upon the Polish, the Eastern Europeans. These guys they outworked me. I mean, they worked 12, 15, 18-hour days, 7 days a week. The only thing they were ever upset about was if I didn't give them hours. They wanted more hours. They came from a place where they didn't have milk, right? They didn't have all the things we have. So their frame of reference was completely different. And as such, I've gravitated toward hanging out with people like that. Right? I tell my wife, we have it too easy. We gotta make these kids fight for milk. So there isn't a day that goes by when I don't look at my kids and think, we just gotta make it tougher on them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And in terms of when you say you like people who just, I guess the most difficult thing is executing on those, right?
Execution is always the hard part, right? So there are many people out there that believe that the idea is the hard. The idea is not the hard. Ideas are a dime a dozen, right? Saying's been around forever. Execution is the hard part. Thomas Edison said, people miss opportunities because opportunities are disguised as hard work and wrapped in overalls. And I don't think people really understand what it takes to take an idea to actually being something. And it's, I like to say we're in a 30-year-old startup with Spartan, right? Because it's not the last 6 years that we've been running, it's all the years before that and all the things we did to make everything come together to get this to launch. So
how do you go about, is there a process you go about in terms of finding those type of people to join your business?
My whole philosophy in life is I like to meet enormous quantities of people. I learn that way. I wasn't in the event business, but we found ourselves in the event business. So my team and I should be talking to event veterans every day. We should set Fridays up to be the day where we interview, whether we're hiring or not, hundreds of people that have put on circus events, concerts, even though we're not in that business. Maybe we'll learn something. Maybe we'll find out the way they move elephants is the way we should be moving obstacles. But it's hard to get any team to be open-minded enough, because people naturally feel threatened, to bring in lots of new people and interview those people and get to know them, because, oh my God, what if that person's better than me, right?
Yes.
I think people become so protective, they actually suffocate the organization.
How do you keep the board members engaged and on the journey with you?
You get new ones. Gotta get new board members.
Right.
By the time this video comes out, I hope to have a new board. My board has been great to get us to this point, but I'm very comfortable out over my skis. Yeah, I don't know if the board's ready for how far I want us to be out over our skis, because my feeling is I'd rather not be doing it if we're not going to really do it. Like, let's either go for it or get somebody else to run this thing.
How do you learn from the best practices? Is there
Well, I just took a little break here, and I was actually sending an email out about that. I think best practices and licensees and all the challenges of running a business board, it's always about the people. And so that's another reason why I think we should be constantly interviewing people and talking to people, because we may not have a slot right now for the person we're interviewing, but we should be ticking the box and saying, oh my God, this person is fantastic. And one of my board members, he said, it takes them 7 years to hire a great person sometimes. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, well, if great people take 7 years to get, well, we should be working on hundreds of people right now, so that every year we're grabbing one or two, right?
As you grow,
yeah, because you can't. When the time comes that you need that person, you can't flip the switch and say, okay, bring me the person's not there.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm really having a tough time with teaching the organization that we need to be doing we need to be preparing for where the puck is going, not for where the puck is.
I look at a leader and their ability to lift an organization through these tougher times, or the times of establishment, the first 6 years we spoke about. Can you talk a little bit about that for me, please?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you've ever read Shackleton's original advertisement, but I don't know it verbatim, but he basically puts an advertisement in the newspaper that says, men wanted, hazardous journey, return unlikely, low rations, we're not getting paid. The only thing you're gonna get if you make it back is you'll be able to, you'll be one of the proud people that went on this trip. 5,000 people got online to go basically kill themselves, right? 5,000 people, because it was such a great, well said statement, like, come on, let's go do something great, guys. And now some would argue with me that don't believe in this philosophy. Well, Joe, it was depression, they had no choice, right? But I don't know. I actually love and thrive when things get tough, and I think I feed off that, and I think the people around me feel that and they see my excitement, and so they all jump in, and it's an opportunity for them to start rowing, right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, we got to deal with it. Let's go.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk on empathy towards staff, etc. What's your view on that?
I have a tough time with empathy. I'm not. Again, I seek individuals that thrive in really difficult times. A wise old boss of an organized crime family said to me one day, "Hey Joe, you put your problems on the table, I'll put my problems on the table. I guarantee you'll take yours back." So I think it's really easy for folks to say, I got this problem, I got that.
Yes.
I got 80 times those problems.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's not that I don't have empathy, it's just that we're all dealing with it, right?
But how do you actually, when you see potential in somebody, right? And it's there, they're just not giving it to you for some reason, right? You're going to give them a little bit of time, you don't want to spend all your life on them.
Yeah.
But how do you pull them towards where you want them to get to?
Yeah, it's probably something I need to work on how to develop people that are showing potential. That I guess I love just finding people right out of the gate that have it. You've always got to be recruiting, and I guess I'm looking for that amazing place. I read a New York Times article where they went to a tennis camp in Russia, because all these great tennis kids were coming out of this camp, and they figured they were going to find this fantastic facility, and it was going to have all the latest bells and whistles and the greatest coaches. And what they found was some cranky old coach. They were wearing fur coats, it was so cold, in a broken down place. And so I'm looking for that place. Where do the great people come from? I don't know if it's special forces, I don't know if it's Eastern Europe, but I'm trying to find that place where these great people come from. I recently brought into the fold just a week ago a couple of commandos, ex-commandos from Singapore's Special Operations, and very, very impressive group. Took control, took command, and so, yeah, I'm the kind of guy now I want to go find 20 more of those exact guys. I feel like we could run the world with a few of these guys.
And the right behaviors, can we touch on the right behaviors? How do you stay on top of that? Because you have a culture that you've built, right? How do you promote the right behaviors when you've got a business that's, in 20 countries? Did I mention you say that before?
It's tough, right? Because I don't believe, and I'm going to sound extreme here, but I don't believe in drinking, I don't believe in smoking, I don't believe in all these vices that people have. And so here I am putting on 130 events around the world in 20 countries, and for lack of a better term, we are a circus, right? I need a bunch of carnies that show up to these things and they live a really rough life, because they're going to be up 20-hour days when we're setting this thing up and breaking it down in the rain. And so those type of personalities tend to drink a bunch of beer at the end of the day, and right? And it's unacceptable for me. That's not the philosophy I believe in, and it leads to bad things. And so we take a hard stance, but I could see when you try to take that hard stance and put it through the company, the management below me is like, Jesus, where the hell am I going to find two guys that don't drink beer, don't smoke, and work this hard, right? And so it's taken some time, but the messaging is really clear. You want to be part of this company, this is what we're about, and it's working.
We've got lots more episodes featuring world-class leaders, so be sure to like and subscribe. If you'd like to know more about what we do in the global leadership space, visit our website at populous.com.au.